Снимаешь, да?
Are you still recording? Yes, I am.
А вот на ФЗБ какой-то другой.
The FGB is somewhat different.
Великая лосеная.
Shiny. Unintelligible.
Да. Два дела сделали.
Okay, we've done two things here.
Даже 4. Потихонечку вниз. Да.
Start moving down slowly. Yes.
Ну давайте потихоньку пошли в ИСО.
Slowly towards DC.
Идем.
Okay.
Серег, мы пока в графике?
Are we still on schedule, Sergey?
Ну уже 20, сейчас я тебе скажу сколько. 28 минут.
With the completion of the collection of those residue samples from window number 13 on the outside of the Zvezda service module, the two spacewalkers, Alexander Skvortsov and Oleg Artemiev, 2 hours and 17 minutes into today's excursion, now are making their way back to the hatchway of the Piers docking compartment, where they will stow several items, including the sample canister. They'll also be retrieving at this point a plume impingement and deposit monitoring experiment. This is to be installed on the outside of the Pois module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. They'll also be retrieving a suitcase-sized cassette called the Esaka. That's one of several material science experiments. This cassette opens up like a suitcase and exposes a variety of material science samples to the environment of low Earth orbit. They'll be removing one of these cassettes from the Pois module and installing a new cassette. Again, these material science experiments, a variety of them, are installed around the Russian segment of the International Space Station to test a variety of different samples to the environment of space for long periods of time.
Just a minute, Alex. Look it up.
A good view of Alexander Skvortsov wearing the suit bearing the red stripes from the helmet camera of his spacewalking colleague Oleg Artemiev. They are almost at the hatchway of the Piers docking compartment. Attached to Piers is the ISS Progress 56 cargo ship that arrived at the International Space Station back on July 24th. The crew is working very efficiently, almost an hour ahead of their timeline for the day.
летном устройстве.
Operator 1 is on EV ladder. I'm watching you, Sasha.
До тени 21 минута, так что...
21 minutes to eclipse. I think you will be able to reach MRM2 before eclipse. So do our best,
Но не торопитесь.
but do not hurry.
Темп, который вы имеете, вполне приличный.
You have a good tempo right now. Quite acceptable. Copy.
Ты потом, если что, мне кровь подбросишь? Да, конечно.
And
Потом уже.
will you
А ты вон на той оставь.
give me the tether right here if I need to make sure we don't get tangled? Yes, of course.
Вон на том отходе. Да-да-да, сейчас сделаю.
Over there. Absolutely.
Approaching the 2.5-hour mark into the spacewalk today. Alexander Skvortsov on the right in the red stripes. Oleg Artemyev back at the hatchway of the Pirs docking compartment of the Russian segment of the International Space Station, as the station and its 6 crew members fly 260 miles over the North Atlantic, moving from southwest to northeast. This orbit of the Earth will carry the spacecraft and its half-dozen residents over Paris. The crew running well ahead of the timeline today, having deployed a Peruvian science satellite. In the first 21 minutes of the spacewalk today, then installing a science package on a universal work platform on the outside of the Zvezda service module, as well as a restraint clamp on a mechanical adapter on an automated phased array antenna. The crew just finished taking samples of residue from window number 13 on the outside of the service module, now making their way back to the hatchway to stow some of the equipment used for these early tasks. They're about to retrieve 2 items. One is a plume impingement and deposit monitoring unit that will be attached to the Pois module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the station. Inside Pois at this hour is Expedition 40 Commander Steve Swanson, who has been isolated for the duration of the spacewalk as the flight rules call for. He has access to the Soyuz TMA-12M spacecraft that he, Skvortsov, and Artemyev rode to the International Space Station back on March 26th.
Okay, and I will be detaching.
The spacewalkers will also retrieve a cassette, a suitcase-shaped experiment package called the Esaka. It opens up like a suitcase to expose a variety of different materials to the environment of space. They'll be installing that cassette on the Pois module as well, and retrieving an older version of that cassette package that has been exposed to the environment of space for some months now.
Okay, I turned around.
Russian engineers are very sensitive to how the buildup of various residue and other materials from low Earth orbit aggregate on the external structures of the Russian segment of the International Space Station, trying to maintain a pristine condition for all of those sensitive structures as time goes on in the lifetime of the International Space Station.
Not going to, you see, to the service module again, so we will transition the solar arrays to the automatic sun tracking mode now, okay? Okay, so do not be surprised. Solar arrays are going to be rotating based on the sunlight, okay? Okay, just rotating, let me rotate. Okay.
Второй фаут.
And the second tether? Right here.
This view from Oleg Artemyev's helmet camera, looking at his colleague, Alexander Skvortsov. Russian flight controllers of the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov outside Moscow, advising the crew that since they no longer have a need to move toward the aft section of the Zvezda service module, the commands can be given now to resume the automated rotation of the solar arrays on the Zvezda as they track the sun during daylight, passes over the Earth.
Какой-то фаут тут начинает перепутывать. Подожди, сюда он зашел куда-то, это что такое?
Hold on, what is this here? Where did this come from?
Он вот там зацеп.
It's from here. Okay, so it's twisted around.
Это, наверное, от спутника.
Must be from the satellite. Satellite? Yes. Hold on a second. Wait.
Вот, все. Ага, спасибо. Так.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Он нам будет мешать и в дальнейшем.
I think it will be in the way later as well. I need to sort out these tethers. Sasha, we still have time. So do everything slowly and deliberately. With the second one, the effort will not be the same, naturally. Okay, I will try. Here? Okay, so 2 tethers. We copy.
Так, теперь мне надо разобраться с этим. Резинок-то больше нет. Отцепи мой постоянный. Постоянный нет. А, вот этот? Да. Просто отцепи, потом выйду. А что, натянут? Да. Спасибо. Я сейчас пойду по Pois. Как ты думаешь, GoPro еще снимает? Да, он моргает.
What do you think? GoPro is still working? Yes, it's still blinking. So it means that it's still on. Okay, let me think what I can do with these tethers.
Олежка пользуется случаем. Предоставишь возможность поболтать ножками.
Using this, I see that Oleg is using this opportunity to dangle his feet.
Two hours, 31 minutes into the spacewalk. You were looking at a very good view of Oleg Artemiev wearing the Orlan suit bearing the blue stripes. There he is again outside of the Piers docking compartment, moving his legs to stay limber as he awaits the emergence of his spacewalking colleague Alexander Skvortsov, who's collecting other equipment from inside the Piers for the second portion of today's spacewalk. Next up is the installation of a plume impingement unit to measure just what the name suggests, the level of thruster plume impingement of residue on surfaces that will be mounted on the Pois module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. The duo will also remove and install material science sample cassettes on Pois. These samples are housed inside suitcase-like devices that open up just like a suitcase. They are called Esaka, the Cyrillic acronym for those experiments. All of the activities continuing to move ahead, well ahead of the timeline, as Skvortsov and Artemiev have made short order of the initial tasks on today's spacewalk timeline.
And now I move. Okay, Oleg. Yes, hold on a second. So here's the BKDO. No, I'm not in a rush. We're not going to lose it. Don't go far. You look at it later. Yes, yes.
We've passed out of range of a downlink television capability from the International Space Station. We probably will not get that TV capability back for another 23 or 24 minutes or so. Everything proceeding extremely well with today's spacewalk, kicking off a brand new week of work for the Expedition 40 crew on board the International Space Station.
They're a little further? Yes, behind mine. The adjustable tether length goes here. Are you holding? Then the leg higher. Got it. Which hook? This one.
A sliver of bonus KU band downlink capability from the station. We expect this to be ratty over the next several minutes, however. Good view nonetheless of Alexander Skvortsov wearing the Russian Orlan suit with the red stripes. This from the helmet camera view.
Yeah.
On the camera mounted on the helmet of Oleg Artemiev.
Okay, so the BKDO is on the handrail, attached. We copy. I'm sticking around near the hatch and I'm waiting. So now the Esaka, I take it. Yes, correct. And attach to You need to attach it to the transportation tether and to the latch. Yes, I see the tether. It's all normal. Okay, Sasha, we copy. So now I am moving it. Just to see that it's also attached to inside using a small ret. Yes, I see it. Okay, so it's on my ret. Okay, that's it. I'm going to translate to the Strela. No, wait, I need to rotate here. No, I think it's all good. It's all normal here. It's all fine.
Skvortsov and Artemiev in the process of making sure they have all of the hardware they need, this being the collection from the hatchway of the Piers docking compartment of a plume impingement and deposit monitoring unit that will be installed on the Pois module on the space-facing side of the Zvezda service module's Russian segment, as well as the removal of a suitcase-sized cassette called the Esaka that contains material science samples. A cassette that is on the Pois module that has been there for some time now will be removed, and a replacement cassette with fresh samples will be installed on Pois, again the module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment, in which Expedition 40 Commander Steve Swanson is spending the day, isolated per the flight rules, as his two Soyuz crewmates, Skvortsov and Artemiev, conduct their spacewalking activities. The other trio of residents on the station, Max Sarayev, Reed Wiseman, and Alexander Gerst, are moving about the U.S. segment of the station, conducting their own variety of work for the day, including within the hour, Gerst and Wiseman conducting a debriefing with robotic specialists and other flight controllers here in Houston, a debriefing on the release of the Orbital Sciences Cygnus cargo craft last Friday, which re-entered the Earth's atmosphere and burned up over the South Pacific yesterday.
That's correct. You will transport it on your rigid tether, and the crew lock bag is on my adjustable tether, and it's floating separately. What do I attach the crew lock bag to? The crew lock bag can be on the adjustable tether on the spare ring on the OTA. Can I hook the adjustable tether to my OTA? Yes. Okay, I've done that. I copy. No more questions.
Перешел в кольцо на грузовую стрелу. Фиксируюсь на кольце.
So I attach it to the ring on the Strela. We copy.
Застраховано к корпусу ИСО. Должно быть застраховано. Или к самой балке.
Do you have this attached to the beam? Or to the ring? Can you check? We have 1 minute. So sunset. Okay, the tether is attached to the small handrail at the end of the Strela. Okay, you will need to detach it because
I think that's obvious. Why? Yes, I understand it won't go any further. Okay. So switch it to the ring. But I'll still switch it once Sasha is attached to it. Yes, of course. Okay, so I'm supposed to translate towards Oleg, right? Or do I need to go around from the other side? No, Sasha, you both go together. Oh, I see. I translate along the parallel handrail. I see it. No, that's it's all good. It's all good. I just didn't see it at first. Okay, so we have the handrail here. What are you talking about? The one from the Esaka? Yes. Okay, no, that's fine. Leave it there. No, just leave it there. You don't need it. Well, maybe as a memento.
2 hours, 43 minutes into today's spacewalk. Skvortsov and Artemiev are making their way from the hatchway to the Piers dock and compartment airlock to the Pois module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. Armed with a plume impingement device that will measure thruster plume activity in the vicinity of the Pois module. They also are carrying a material science samples package called the Esaka. This type of experiment has been mounted on the outside of the Russian segment of the station in various forms for years now. They'll be removing an older version of this cassette package filled with material science samples and installing a brand new one also on the outside of the Pois module, as you see in this animation.
Okay, so right now we are in the orbital night. Yes. So I have a proposal. Let's work the following way. We translate on the ring towards the first thick circular handrail, where you will be working with the Venos-Last. Most likely we will just stick around there and wait for the sunrise, because the Venos-Last experiment is complicated. So we still have time. We will wait until sunrise. Then Sasha will pick up the Venos-Last hardware, and then we'll just keep moving. Again, to confirm, we have plenty of time. Okay, that's fine. Hold on, let me go away from here.
This is Mission Control Houston. As you look at a view of the Russian flight control room at the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov outside Moscow, Russian spacewalk specialists are advising the crew that they're going to change up the order of some of the tasks so that Alexander Skvortsov can retrieve a panel of experiments called the Venos-Last experiment from the outside of the Pois module on the space-facing side of the International Space Station. The Venos-Last experiment consists of several panels that expose materials to the space environment so that scientists can study the changes in their properties over a period of time. The Venos-Last panels were installed originally in February of 2012 on Russian spacewalk 30 by Anton Shkaplerov and Oleg Kononenko.
So from
The first of these panels was retrieved by Russian cosmonaut Pavel Vinogradov on Russian spacewalk 32 in April of 2013, but he lost his grasp on the panel and it floated away and was not able to be retrieved. A second such Venos-Last panel was retrieved by Fyodor Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin on Russian spacewalk 33 in June of 2013. The two spacewalkers then installed a replacement panel on Russian spacewalk 34 in August of 2013. The replacement panel is the one being retrieved today after 1 year of exposure to the space environment by Skvortsov and Artemiev.
I will move the string here. Just go over there. Okay, so I got the ring. Okay. So this Esaka. Okay, let's hold on a second. I will slowly move. Okay, and here I need to move. Can we find it here? You attach it to the ring. Okay, so here. Now this hook here from that side. Okay. This ring here. Guys, we had a short dropout, but I can hear you very well right now. Okay? So we're both on the cargo trailer. Now we are detaching the hook that is attached to the end of the trailer and to the unit. Okay, we copy. And now let's start slowly translating to MRM2. Yes, in work. It goes below somehow, below this ring. No, I don't think that's the one. Maybe that's the wrong one. Yeah, we need this one. Okay, wait. Oleg, that's the one. No, wait. That's the one. Don't jerk it. I'm holding it.
Так прикольно по этому по кольцу идти, да? Сейчас посмотрим. Главное не запутаться. Начали передвижение по кольцу, по стреле на кольце.
Принято.
Подожди, там что-то у меня сзади. Все сзади антенка. Мишенька.
Okay, here, the target, be careful around the target.
Что, стрелу?
Let's move it towards me.
Все, ты обошел ее.
Okay, so now you moved around.
И тут мишенька. Так, проходим ПХО.
Moving past the PHO.
Принято.
We copy.
Так,
We copy.
пришли. Так, находимся над...
We're here. Now we're above the antenna.
Кольцо уперлось.
So the ring now rests
Так, сейчас мы его застрахуем.
against.
Да, страхуйте кольцо.
Так,
Yes, well, let's secure it. Correct. You're supposed to
Саш,
secure it. Sasha, now you try to have the light.
если смотреть на пост оператора,
If you look at the operator post, move them to the left.
на кольцевые поручни, если там
On the circular handrails, you will see attachment plates and the reel.
есть кольцо зафиксировано. За поручень.
принято.
It's on the handrail. Okay, copy.
Олег, если у тебя не включены светильники Орланов,
Oleg, if your Orlan lights are not on, please turn them on.
Включил.
I turned them on.
Да, видим. Просто у меня там...
We see that and confirm.
Просто у меня было 26 вольт, поэтому я их выключил.
A lot of interference.
Так, я крыло бэк оставляю здесь.
So crew lock bag, I leave here.
да, Саша, оставляй там.
Yes, Sasha, that's correct. Leave it there.
Бок и Esaka.
Both the crew lock bag and the Esaka.
Какая самая, не переходи на Минск-2, как договорились. Не спеши.
Do not move to MRM2 yet. There is no hurry, no rush. Just look around. I'm trying to sort it out here.
Давай, разберись со всем, потом сделаем отдых, а дальше посмотрим. Хорошо?
Okay, let's just find a good spot to rest and then we'll sort it out. Okay? Yes, that's fine.
Есть.
Олег, а вот в этой ситуации маркировка поручней видна?
Oleg, can you see the handrails from where you are?
Видно.
Yes,
Ну, я нахожусь на
I am
миме.
on the MRM
На миме втором нахожусь.
2.
Перешел с кольца на
I
место.
translated from the circular handrail to MRM 2. Yes, I see that.
На 60-22.
Okay. 6022, and the labeling is clearly visible. Very nice.
На кольце 60-22.
So 6022.
Я имею в виду, что у меня,
What I see,
я сейчас нахожусь на
I am currently on the circular handrail 60221, hook on 6021, and the other on 6009, and I have the Australia adapter tied up next to me. Yes, we do have that piece of equipment there. Do you need it?
Yeah.
No.
Когда понадобится, сходим.
When we need it, we'll go and retrieve it. Understand.
Отдыхай пока.
Хорошо.
Oh, get a break. Get some rest. Okay.
Approaching the 3-hour mark into the spacewalk today, Alexander Skvortsov and Oleg Artemiev continuing to work well ahead of the scheduled timeline. They are now on the Pois module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station, where they have with them a device called a plume impingement and deposit monitoring unit that they will attach to the Pois module a short time from now, and another in a series of suitcase-sized cassettes called the Esaka. That's the Cyrillic acronym for these experiment packages that open up like a suitcase to expose a variety of different materials to the environment of space. They'll be removing one of the cassettes that has been on the Pois module for some months now, and will install a replacement cassette filled with fresh experiments. Have you already gone below? Yes. I will try to move there too. Sasha, how are you doing? How I'm doing? Did you figure it all out, all the stuff? Yes, I attached it. I would like to move down to the circular handrail. Proceeding from where Oleg is right now, Sasha, it looks like Oleg is closer to Venos-Last, a shorter translation path for him.
Но
А
мне
где
что-то
она
самому
БКДО? У тебя?
Where's the BKDO?
У меня, да.
I have the BKDO.
У меня тут в шаговой доступности.
It's within one step away.
Вон она, вот там.
Well, you see, I have Venos-Last over there near antenna, down to the left along the circular handrail. Sasha, you have
Впереди три
three
препятствия. Две фиксированные.
Russian flight controllers talking to the two spacewalkers about the ordering of tasks here. The Venos-Last experiment that they are referring to is a panel, one of several panels of material science experiments, a whole variety of different material science experiments housed on the Russian segment of the International Space Station. The Venos-Last panel that they're talking about was installed by cosmonauts Fyodor Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin during a Russian spacewalk exactly 1 year ago. That is the one that will be retrieved today by Skvortsov and Artemyev and brought back inside the Piers docking compartment.
Никаких противопоказаний.
Well, if there are no contraindications in terms of how you're feeling, then Sasha, we can probably start translating slowly, little by little. Hold on one.
Олег, а ты
Call again. Try to provide as much light as you possibly can. Okay.
Я, видишь, я улетаю с этой.
You see, I'm floating away here.
Тяжело очень. У тебя там очень.
просьба максимально осторожно.
So be careful.
Ну, ты же знаешь, мы...
Вот антенну лучше не трогать.
Well, we would prefer you do not handle the antenna.
Внизу-то нет поручня?
Well, you see, I don't have a handrail below.
Под этим, под стрелой кольцевой поручень.
There is a circular handrail below the trello, or is it taken?
Я-то его вижу.
Well, I see it,
Получается, я на этом.
but the way it works, I am currently at the gap spanner.
Понял я.
Я на росте.
Okay, I got it.
Рука, кольцо уезжает.
You see the ring moves away.
О. И каким тут фалом вот этим первым, наверное.
And which tether should I use here?
Сейчас левой рукой попробую.
I will try to use my left hand.
Слушай, а если я тебе его подам, ты мне не можешь его?
If I hand it to you, then can you, well, then you'll have to go around the antenna.
Сейчас его подам. Ты можешь?
If I hand it to you right now, then could you help? Okay, if you could just, okay, go ahead. I'm ready to get it. Okay, if you can just take it off and attach it.
Во. Тянется? Ну. Зафиксировал, да, Олег?
Did you attach it, Alex?
Я сейчас тогда уже могу снимать одну руку.
Well, in this case, I can release one hand.
This view from Alexander Skvortsov's helmet camera as the International Space Station flies from northwest to southeast, 260 miles over Western Australia.
Okay, I got it.
Skvortsov and Oleg Artemyev now 3 hours 5 minutes into today's spacewalk, continuing to work ahead of the timeline.
Давай. Держись.
Держу.
Okay, hold it. I'm holding it.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
Все, Саш, пошел, да?
Okay, Sasha, you ready to move? Yes, I'm going to move slowly.
А я подсвечиваю.
Okay, and I am providing...
Посмотрю, как обойти вот этот кабель, чтобы его не...
I'm providing the lighting. Okay, I'm trying to how to circumnavigate this cable so that I don't
Damage it. We've only been out in open space for 2 hours. Sasha, Ethernet between the Russian segment, between MLM and the US cable. It just wouldn't go. Okay. I am going to skip it. So do we see Venos-Last? Oh, even 2 goes. Well, we need to translate Venos-Last is the secondary issue. Yes, you do have cable there. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think you passed it.
Я могу цепляться, правильно?
6008, I can attach to it. Yes, 6008, of course you can use it.
Skvortsov and Artemiev are working deliberately to make sure that they're in the correct position for the installation of the plume impingement experiment on the Pois module, and for the retrieval of one of the material science cassettes called the Esaka experiment that has been housed on the outside of Pois for some months now. They'll also be retrieving a material science panel of experiments called the Venos-Last experiment from Pois. All of this science hardware, part of today's spacewalk activities, now 3 hours, 9 minutes into the spacewalk, the 181st excursion outside of the International Space Station in support of station assembly and maintenance.
Okay, Venos-Last.
Так, ну все, Саня, я тебя потерял из виду.
Ничего страшного. Я тут вышел на оперативный простор.
Okay, I am currently enjoying freedom of moment.
Так. А это несколько...
Is it not Esaka?
Venos-Last.
Ну, если скакал, видел?
Sasha, once again. Could you repeat? I'm looking at Venos-Last.
Она на поручне 6007.
It is on handrail 6007, 6007 is the 6008. It's the longitudinal handrail. It's in the area, in the vicinity of 6015. Okay, that's good. Well, the numbers are clearly visible.
Так, ну... 15 и поручень 60.
So it's 6015 and between 6007, that's the one where Venos-Last is located.
Контролируешь ты то.
Okay, let me ascertain that it's the one. Yes, that's the one.
Помнишь, да, Саш, пора
Okay, remember, Sasha, you're going to use the small flat to the handrail, then you're going to release the wing nut to the stop, and then you're going to pull it.
Сейчас.
It's pulled by the handle.
Да я займу позицию.
Get a break. Let me
Давай, выбери
assume a comfortable position. Well, get a rest.
And there's a good view out of Alexander Skvortsov's helmet camera of the Venos-Last experiment panel. This one of several such panels installed on the Pois module over the past couple of years, the first of which was installed in February of 2012 by Russian cosmonauts Anton Shkaplerov and Oleg Kononenko during a spacewalk. The panel to be dismantled and retrieved today by Skvortsov and Artemyev is one that was installed exactly 1 year ago by Fyodor Yurchikhin and Alexander Mazurkin during Russian spacewalk number 34.
За ручку, правильно? За поручень.
Well, I'm going to secure it to the handrail.
Есть. Зацепил.
Okay, I hooked it on.
Принято, Саш.
Okay, copy.
Each of these Venos-Last panels measures about 12 inches by 18 inches and weighs about 6.5 pounds, containing a variety of different materials that are exposed for long periods of time to the space environment.
And you do not have a ratchet wrench.
Пошел.
Yeah, okay, I got it. It's moving.
Растянул их.
I think I released it.
Да, хорошо кто-то крутил.
Somebody secured it really well.
На совесть.
Well, somebody did a thorough job of it.
Ну, это твой тезка, похоже.
Well, I think it's your namesake.
Кто?
Who was it?
Мисуркин.
Miss Durkin.
Так, и тебе что у нас, сдергивать его?
Ты крути еще, вращай.
Okay, should I pull it off? I don't think you released it completely, but basically, yes, when you have released it, then pull it. It should disengage from the thread. Okay, I got it.
Понял.
Okay, I understand.
ВКДО в магнитно-механическом замке стоит.
The BKDO is secured with the magnetic mechanical lock. Which one, Oleg?
Д1.
MMZ, magnetic lock MMZ1. Am I correct, MMZ1? No, that's not, that doesn't match. Okay, if it doesn't match, which one do you need? That's the only one that is next to the BKDO sign. There's another one next to it, MMZ4, magnetic lock 4.
Так, открутил, снял.
I have released and removed.
Кака, да?
Is it next to Esaka?
Кака, правильно говоришь.
Yes, that is correct. It's next to Esaka.
Как принял. Открутил,
How
снял.
copy? I released it.
Принято, Саш.
I took it off.
Перемещайся дальше по этому же
Translate further along the same ring, same handrail to the next flap.
Олег уже вижу.
Be careful. Don't kick Esaka. You have Esaka nearby. Well, I don't think I'm going to reach it. I don't think I am tall enough to reach it. Alex.
We're in a short handover between satellites on our tracking and data relay satellite system for a downlink TV capability. In the meantime, we can offer that we are 3 hours, 18 minutes into today's spacewalk by Alexander Skvortsov and Oleg Artemiev.
Here we go. Okay, here's Esaka.
The two cosmonauts continuing to work ahead of the timeline today are in the process of removing an experiment panel called Venos-Last of materials science samples from the outside of the Pois module, and at the same time we'll be installing a different type of experiment package called the Esaka, a suitcase style experiment package filled with different material samples, as well as the installation of a plume impingement unit to measure how thruster residue accumulates on the outside of the Russian modules on the International Space Station.
Now it is definitely installed. Now, yes, MZ4. Now you need to rotate it in a way that the arrow is pointing to PHO. Yes, it is looking at PHO. Let's rotate it. PHO is behind me. So this particular cover is going to be pointing in the direction opposite PHO. I can remove large red. You have rotated it, or are you still working? It's facing PHO. It needs to be in the center of PHO. It's kind of hard. Well, you see, Esaka is installed along the axis. Yes. It's perpendicular to the axis. Okay.
3 hours, 21 minutes into today's spacewalk, the Venos-Last experiment panel has been removed from the Pois module, and the plume impingement device has been installed. The crew now working for the exchange of the Esaka experiment sample packages, also on the Pois module, as the crew continues to move well ahead of its timeline for today. Venos-Last and these Esaka packages represent a variety of different materials science sample experiments that are exposed throughout the Russian segment of the International Space Station allowing those samples to collect a wealth of data on their reaction to long-duration exposure to the space environment.
Okay, let it make sure it is secured. Okay, it does not close. Okay, no, nothing else is required. We're going to keep the tether on it. No, you need to take it with you.
То есть он только в замке будет, да, фиксирован? А, и кабель, получается.
И плюс кабель.
Угу. Понятно. Да, конечно. Может, СКК уже сложить?
Сложи ее.
Okay, do you think I need to fold it?
Наблюдаем.
So should I just fold it? Okay.
Принято, видели, Олег.
And a good view through the helmet camera of Oleg Artemiev of the closing of that suitcase-style experiment package, the SKK, which will be removed now from the Pois module. A fresh set of experiments and a brand new SKK to be installed on the outside of the Pois. Steve Swanson, the Expedition 40 commander, has been isolated inside the Pois module since just prior to the start of today's spacewalk per the flight rules, so that he has access to the Soyuz TMA-12M spacecraft. That was his ride uphill to the International Space Station back in late March, along with Skvortsov and Artemiev.
Это напротив Форсен 63, правильно?
Правильно, правильно.
That is opposite the handrail 63.
Так, а его мы как,
Yes.
под клапаны прятать, да?
Смотри, открываешь клапан. Под клапаном
Okay.
лежит разъем.
As the light below would indicate, from an altitude of 260 miles, the International Space Station has moved into an orbital sunrise over the South Pacific, now moving from southwest to northeast.
The length of the flap should work to cover two connectors.
Как лучше, может под
So should we route
Тут клапанов много.
Не надо, Олег, под клапанами.
under the flap? No.
Если подключать, зачем мы будем с этим кабелем мучиться?
So if we're going to connect the equipment, why are we going to torture ourselves with this?
Его в двух
So
местах.
you're just going to attach it in two spots, secure it, tying it to the handrail. Okay, that's fine.
Чека на месте.
Is the foot tab there?
Чека на месте,
Nobody snagged it.
зафиксировано
It's secured. It's in place.
ретом.
It's secured with red.
Ну, хорошо, сидит.
Нет, тебе надо вдоль
Снято.
Yes, you need to pull it.
принято.
Понятно.
Okay, copy.
Снято.
Yes, this foot tab has been removed.
О, тут хорошо, тут крышка зафиксирована за лирку.
Okay, this cover is secured to the
Так.
leer clip. So in this case, that looks good. Sergey, do you think we can route the cable under the handrail? If it works to route it under the handrail, that would be preferable. Of course,
Даже очень было бы лучше.
that would be better.
Тогда мы с самого начала.
Then we're going to route it under the handrail, under the bracket from the very beginning, just to make sure that the cable doesn't get in the way for Esaka. Oh no, I didn't mean Esaka. So when we're going to remove the cassette from Esaka.
Ну там замок-то у него под КТО.
No, the
Замок на стене.
latch
The walk is under bucket, although you would not need to remove the walk. We're going to leave it in the same configuration as on DC-1. Yes, it's here, sticking out. Yes, under the bracket. One is routed under the bracket, and then it will be routed under another one. I see Oleg.
Так, а может мне надо было сходить сейчас пока СКК принести?
Maybe I should go ahead and bring up Esaka.
В принципе, это будет неплохо.
Actually, that is a good idea.
Пока Олег там, да, на твой раньше.
While Oleg is here. I'm rested.
Да не, нормально. Сейчас как...
It's good. It's good time. We have sunlight.
Крылобек у меня там. Я просто думаю, по правой стороне.
And I have it on the right side here.
Ты, Олег, пока тут будете пиковать,
While Oleg is doing the mating here, I go ahead
пожалуйста, мин второй.
and connect to MRM2.
Потом придется скакать сюда.
Then you get back the crew log bag you have here. Okay, so come back with the crew log bag with SKK.
Из крылобека?
Ну, по крайней мере, с фотоаппарата.
At least the camera.
Аппарат стоит,
You have the camera installed, right?
фотоаппарат.
SKK and the camera, right?
Олег, маркировка диктует 10U,
Alec,
58, правильно?
10U,
Срочно 10U, Х-58.
X58 is the label, correct? Correct. On both connectors.
Какой?
Okay, go ahead, made it. Okay.
Состыковано.
Done.
Принято, видно.
Проверить.
Copy, I can see.
Клапан пока не закрывай. Как я вам и рассказывал, телеметрию мы получим только через 10 минут.
We'll get telemetry only in 10 minutes. Do not close the flap yet.
Ты можешь сейчас, Олег, отдохнуть.
You can take some rest right now.
Саша, мин второй поснимай на этот,
And then
все окрестности.
take some photos of the surroundings using GoPro.
Олег, ну вот мы по вторичным признакам,
Alec,
что разъем состыкован.
we understand the connector is mated correctly.
Все нормально.
So everything is fine over here. We're getting some additional confirmations. Very good. Very good.
This is Mission Control Houston. While we have a break in the downlink TV capability from the International Space Station, we're 3.5 hours into today's spacewalk by Alexander Skvortsov and Oleg Artemiev, the second spacewalk each for these two cosmonauts. They have moved well ahead of their timeline in all of the tasks for today's excursion. The hatch to the Piers docking compartment to mark the official start of the spacewalk. The hatch was opened at 9:02 a.m. Central Time, and just 21 minutes later, standing on a ladder outside of the hatchway to Piers, Artemiev held a small Peruvian science satellite called Chotsky-1, named after an Incan tribe of Peru, He then manually cast the satellite aft of the service module in a retrograde fashion, as you can see from this video replay, to complete the first major task of the excursion. The Chasqui-1 satellite was commissioned by the National Engineering University of Lima, Peru, and was launched back on February 5th on the ISS Progress 54 cargo ship to the International Space Station. This very small satellite, measuring 4 inches by 4 inches by 4 inches and weighing 2.2 pounds, will orbit the Earth for some time. It will collect imagery of the Earth below through a small camera that can collect imagery both in visible and in infrared light, and will be collecting temperature and pressure measurements as it orbits the Earth. Again, this video replay of the deployment manually by Oleg Artemyev early in today's spacewalk of the Chasqui-1, the Peruvian nanosatellite that he manually cast free from the ladder outside of the Pirs docking compartment just 21 minutes into the spacewalk today. Additionally, the crew has installed the Expose-R science package on a universal work platform on the outside of the Zvezda service module, installed a restraint clamp for a mechanical adapter on an automated phased array antenna outside of Zvezda that Skvortsov and Artemyev actually installed back on June 19th in their first spacewalk. They used a series of probes to take residue samples from window number 13 on the outside of the service module, and installed a plume impingement and deposit monitoring unit on the outside of the Pois module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the station. They also removed and installed basically replaced a pair of cassettes housing material science samples on the outside of Pois, and removed another panel of experiments called the Venos-Last experiment on the outside of Pois. They have 2 major tasks left on the docket for today's spacewalk, the first of which is the removal of a container of science samples from the Pirs docking compartment called the BioRisk experiment. Other such canisters retrieved on previous spacewalks. The BioRisk experiment contains material samples and space technology material samples to determine how they can resist microbiological development outside in the environment of space, to mitigate the risk of damage from microbiological samples. This BioRisk experiment has been housed on the outside of the Pirs docking compartment since its installation in April of 2013 during a spacewalk by Pavel Vinogradov and Roman Romanenko. The crew also scheduled to take a number of photos of thermal insulation on the outside of the Russian segment of the International Space Station as part of the evaluation of station component maintenance by the crews who live and work on board the International Laboratory.
Так, одна проволочка установлена.
One is installed on the pole.
Принято, Олег.
Copy.
Запускать вторую.
Going to the other one.
Хорошо. Ну ты еще раз, ну потом, когда Esaka снимете, ты
When you remove Esaka,
обязательно выставишь, ладно?
Да, это само собой.
set them up one more time, Kakadu, finally. Okay.
А я тут пытаюсь как себе подтянуть на кольце.
I'm trying to push,
Перецепить.
to pull Esaka closer to me and have it rehooked.
A good view from Artemyev's helmet camera as he has revisited the plume impingement package on the outside of the Pois module, ensuring that it's tightly secured in place.
Олег, можешь нажать на клавишу прикрыть эту крышку? Или это та, которая у нас подвязанная, да?
Нет.
Cover the lid by
Та, которая
lever.
нормальная.
No, it is
Сейчас.
Ну нажми на клавишу, да и прикрой ее. Потом откроешь еще раз.
up some and then open it again.
Не, она клавиша просто, она спрятана.
No, it's hidden.
Всё нормально уже
It
снял.
is all right. I already have it
Я вижу,
removed.
все хорошо.
I can see all is well.
Ну, мы точно забираем, да, фау, или...
Are we definitely taking the tether or are we keeping it here?
Для страховки
The
ПКДО не нужно.
safety tether for Brigado is not needed.
Пусть лежит вот то. Вот тот самый элемент, который лучше будет
Remove it.
чем на БКДО.
Better have it in DC.
Понятно.
It is better have it in DC than on Brigado. Okay. Understand.
Так, проволочку снял.
Remove the wire.
Фау на себя туда вешал.
Хорошо, Олег.
Так, ну, сейчас будем решать. Где посередине, да, проволочку поставить?
Okay, so the wire should be in the middle, is that correct?
Ну, на твое усмотрение, чтобы он так не мешал потом.
Yes,
Может быть, ближе туда.
at your discretion, to make sure it is not going to be in the way when you translate, closer to the valve.
Переход, я лучше тогда
Okay,
вот на пересечении.
Вот здесь, вот в этом стыке сделай и все.
at the interface is better. Okay.
Так, все, Esaka на выносливость на этом,
SKK Venos-Last
на мне.
Принято.
on this end and
Хорошо, принято.
okay, I see, copy.
3 hours, 43 minutes into the spacewalk, Skvortsov and Artemyev continue to work smartly through their tasks for the day. They are wrapping up work at the Pois module, ensuring that they're able to collect all of the photographs that are required of the work that has been done to install a plume impingement device for the measurement of thruster plumes on the exterior of the Pois module of the International Space Station, as well as taking a variety of closeout photos of the work site for Russian engineers to evaluate back on the ground at the Russian Mission Control Center.
On the main Reg, I have it. On the main red, I have it.
Сережа не напомнил, а я...
Фотоаппарат ты не взял.
Did not remind me. Yeah.
Все нормально.
You didn't take the camera, but that is fine.
Саш, ничего страшного.
No problem.
Ну, лучше потом сейчас вернешься на кольцо и стоит.
When we get back to the ring, we'll take care of it. You will just shoot some photos from over there. Do not go back for it, okay?
Давай я скакаю там сейчас.
How about I'll just give Esaka to Alec, and then I can turn around and get towards the ring and take some photos from there. That will be fine.
Так, второй провод установил.
I got a second wire installed. I can see this.
Тут у меня хочешь ждать.
Very nice.
Скакаю. Это будет самое ответственное мероприятие.
I think right now I have the most responsible act here.
Да не, я не тороплюсь.
I'm not in a hurry at all. Are you able to reach something to hook on to? Yes, I can.
Сейчас, одну секундочку.
Just a second. How are your arms? Are your hands? Little sore? Yes, little.
Я тебе вот так тебе тут разверну.
I will rotate it like this for you.
Сейчас.
Just a second.
The International Space Station is currently flying over the Panama Canal, moving from southwest to northeast
I released it.
in an orbit inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator. The view from Oleg Artemyev's helmet camera, looking at his spacewalking colleague Alexander Skvortsov as they continue to work on the swap out of material science cassettes called Esaka on the Pois module of the International Space Station.
I'm attaching SKK, securing it with red. Copy, Alex. I'm done. It's attached to me. I'm taking the new SKK from the container. Copy. It is going to be attached to the cover, but I thought I can probably attach it to myself. Why? Let it be the way it is. You think so? All right then. Take it down.
And
Slowly.
the swap out of the material science cassettes called SKK by their Cyrillic acronym is in the process of continuing, as one of these cassettes is currently being removed and stowed in a bag being carried by Oleg Artemiev. The replacement cassette that opens up like a suitcase filled with materials samples for long-duration exposure to the space environment will be attached to the Pois module a short time from now.
Here it is, the new one, new SKK. All right. And the old one is attached also, so the old hook can be removed. Yes.
A good view of the new SKK materials science package.
Put it in the container.
Again, it will be attached to the outside of the Pois module of the International Space Station and then folded open like a suitcase to expose its cache of materials samples.
MRM2, external view, as much as you can. Okay?
Ну да, давай.
So the old SKK is folded up, and I'm trying to put it in a cover, in a container. Okay. Old SKK is inside. You can actually compress it somewhat. And I have a red in there, left. Take the red out. Push it back in there and compress. Can be taken off. I don't think I can do it that easily. One more time. And pull the wire, right? Yes. Oh, it's so good. So, good configuration. Shall I wrap it around some more? Yes. One more time. And just wrap it up.
3 hours, 54 minutes into the spacewalk, flying over the Atlantic Ocean at an altitude of 260 miles. Oleg Artemyev, whose helmet camera view you've been enjoying, and Alexander Skvortsov, well into their spacewalk for the day. The material science cassettes called SKKs are being swapped on the Pois module as Artemyev secures the bag in which the old material science cassette is now housed, having been removed from the outside of the Pois module. The replacement unit you see at the end of that tether will be installed on Pois a short time from now.
Right, and the external cover is for the work inside. Is that correct? Yes, it is correct. So it is wrapped around with a wire and with the red on top of it. Copy, Oleg. All is good here. All right. Now.
Ну и это самое. Олег, чехол, наверное, с новой кассеты можно будет на чехол зацепить, у тебя там
cover with the cartridge can probably be attached to the main ground cover. Yes.
Ну да.
Так, замок ставим перпендикулярно, да?
And the latch should be placed perpendicularly. Yes.
Сейчас заведем замок.
Put the lock in.
Положение открыто.
Position open.
Принят.
Copy.
Он там защелкнуть должен в автомате, Олег.
Oleg, the latch should latch automatically. Yes, yes.
Да, во заведенное положение и защелкнется.
You should have it in the charge position, and so then after that it should latch quickly.
Все, защелкнулся. Хорошо.
Okay, so it latched. Good.
Стойки на него, да?
Now I attach the hook to it.
Стойки карабин вешай на кольцо.
Yes, the one from the stanchion you put on the ring.
Повесил.
Okay, I have put that in work. Now put this behind the bag.
Повесил рэп на чехол.
I put the wrap on the bag, on the cover. We copy.
Так. И
Looks good. Now,
снимаю.
Снимай защиту.
yes, remove the
Снимаю.
safety
Снял рубашку.
in work. I removed the
Так.
protection.
Запрячем. Так, есть.
Okay, so that's done.
Так, проверяем.
Checking.
Застраховано. Так, сейчас поставлю БКД.
Okay, everything is safe here. Yeah, for the BKTO, please put it along the Esaka.
Смотрит на ПХО.
Yes, it's facing PHO.
Одна зафиксирована.
The covers are open. One is secure tight and the other one is still dangling. But they're facing the PHO.
Замок еще раз проверить. О, отлично. Замок закрыт.
So, the lock is locked.
Просто будет параллельно, как стояла, да?
Да,
Под углом.
точно в таком же положении.
The Esaka should be parallel the way it was before. Yes, correct. Exactly in the same position. Okay, great.
О, красота.
Looks nice.
СКК открыта.
Okay, so Esaka is open. Can you see? Oleg, we copy.
Все нормально.
We can see. It all looks good.
And 4 hours into the spacewalk, Oleg Artemyev has installed and opened the new SKK material science cassette,
Yes.
just like a suitcase, exposing a fresh
Performing
suite
immaterial.
of
It goes well,
materials
yes, from all sides,
samples and experiment samples to the environment of space.
СКК.
The crew continuing to work well ahead of its timeline for the day.
Спасибо, Олег.
Thank you, Oleg. Facing the U.S. segment.
Ну там еще по кругу немножко
Yes, also
снимаю.
all around.
Ага.
If you don't mind
Хорошо.
taking pictures and doing the imagery for us to see what's going on around, yes, sure.
With the completion of the installation of this new material science cassette, the new SKK on Pois,
The moon.
the two spacewalkers, Skvortsov and Artemyev, are operating more than an hour ahead of their timeline, with two additional tasks scheduled for this spacewalk, that being the removal of a container of other experiments called BioRisk from the Piers docking compartment. This BioRisk canister contains a variety of different space technology materials to measure their resistance to the microbiological effects of low Earth orbit. The crew also scheduled to take quite a few photographs of thermal insulation and the condition of several areas of the exterior of the Russian segment of the International Space Station.
Осталось 11 минут.
We have 11 minutes until sunset.
Приняли.
We copy. Understood.
Так. Сними. О, классный кадр будет. На фоне Земли получается. Да, да.
So against the background of Earth.
Темного неба.
Yeah, I take pictures of you, but it looks like you're just against the background of the dark sky. No, that's fine. It still looks good.
The International Space Station approaching the southern coast of Ireland on an orbit that will carry the complex and its 6 residents over London, the Netherlands, Germany, Krakow, Poland, and the Ukraine.
Time to get back to work.
Олег, ты пришел?
Да. Двигаюсь в сторону кольца.
Okay, Oleg, you have come here? Yes, moving towards the ring. Yes, Oleg, let's start translating slowly.
10 минут
Так,
до
у меня
тени.
здесь на меня уже насыплено.
10 minutes.
Насыплено на меня все.
У тебя выносливость и
То есть, в принципе,
крылок бэк, правильно?
So you have
крылок-бэк, да.
Venos-Last and you have the crew lock bag. Correct.
Лайф.
And then
На, здесь.
Esaka for Oleg.
The two crew members now at the 4-hour, 7-minute mark in the EVA will carry the equipment that they've removed from the Pois module back to the hatchway of the Piers docking compartment to stow that material inside. That including the two material science packages, one being the Venos-Last panel, the other being the older of the two Esaka material science cassettes that was removed from Pois and replaced with a fresh cassette package. That package now is opened up, exposing its suite of materials to the environment of space.
We copy, Oleg.
Так, Олег, подожди.
Okay, Oleg, wait. Let me switch the safety tether here.
Next on tap for the two spacewalkers will be the stowage of that equipment inside Piers and the removal of the biorisk canister that is housed on a platform just outside of the hatchway to the Piers docking compartment. Again, biorisk, one of several such canisters that contain a variety of different space technology samples to measure their resistance against the wear and tear of microbiological effects from the low Earth orbit space environment. The last such biorisk canister that was installed that is being removed today by Skvortsov and Artemiev was installed in a Russian spacewalk in April of 2013 by Pavel Vinogradov and Roman Romanenko.
Нажимай на мобильный, смотри. У меня антенна.
Ага. Машинки, антенна.
Да, и надо всплывать. Тяни меня сам. Вот я всплыл. Пошли. Олег, аккуратнее. Да.
Sasha and Oleg, yes?
Ну все, на Мин-2 мы тоже больше не возвращаемся.
We are not going back to MRM2 anymore. We're done.
Да, что-нибудь еще забрать?
Okay.
Хорошая новость.
That is good news.
Красиво.
That's nice. Looks nice. Yes.
Сейчас, Саня, подожди. Не тяни.
Okay. Sanya, wait.
Ну его надо будет туда.
We need to put it there.
Страховочка, да? Зацепился?
Да, да.
Safety, yes?
Надо будет туда.
Yes, we'll need to put it there.
Да.
Не перехлестнулся у нас?
They will overlap.
Надеюсь, что здесь край. Смотри, вот страховочный. Я могу вот здесь вот зацепить, вот этим вот.
I can attach it here. I have the safety tether here. This is the safety tether, right?
Нет, это не страховка.
Вот он, да.
No, this one. No, this is it.
С моим концом.
Okay, so
Давай я тебе
with my end here.
С моей стороны этот тоже.
Also from my side.
Или ближе, неважно каким.
Каким получится.
Closer one or the more distant one? It doesn't matter.
Подержись его немножко.
Так, я со стрелы перешел на кольцевые
Олег.
поручни СО.
Oleg?
Да.
Yes?
У меня просьба, передерни свою
I have a request
камеру.
for you. Can you move your helmet camera?
Ну как? Просто я не вижу, горит ли там зеленый огонек. Сань,
Давай.
I don't see if the green light is on.
Ну, отсюда тоже подсвечивает солнце так, что...
Yes, also it kind of flares from here.
не вижу, включена.
Can you see anything or no? I can't tell whether it's on or not.
Картинки.
We're not getting a picture at this time.
А вот так.
How about now?
Появляется. Сейчас появилось все.
Now we do. Yes?
Так, ну что?
Okay, so.
Значит, ребят, давайте...
Okay, guys, let's agree on the following. You are translating to the grapple fixture with the ring.
Наступает тень. Начало...
Then we'll be in the orbital night.
10 минут отдыха.
Once the night starts, you have 10 minutes to rest.
Хорошо.
Okay.
Договорились.
All right, that's agreed then.
15 минут.
You've been outside for 4 hours and 15 minutes.
Принял.
We copy.
Ты уже ушел, да?
Нет.
Have you moved away already? No? I'm here. Still.
Ну, я по этим пойду.
Да, ты поэтому, а я за тобой.
Okay, so you do with these? Yeah, sure.
Будет после.
Ну, сейчас сильно наступает. Я потом слезу. Аккуратненько. Блин, потащило меня.
Ничего. Остановлю.
Вот тут схватись. Все, перепрыгнули. Снова.
This is Mission Control Houston, 4 hours, 15 minutes into the spacewalk by Skvortsov and Artemyev. The two cosmonauts running more than an hour ahead of schedule on their timeline, making their way back to the Pirs docking compartment to stow a series of material science experiments and hardware. The crew will take about a 10-minute breather once they get back to the hatchway of Pirs in no rush, having made short work of all of the other activities for today's spacewalk that have included the deployment of a Peruvian science satellite called the Chasqui-1, that a very small nanosatellite that was manually deployed by Oleg Artemyev as the first task in today's excursion outside of the Pirs docking compartment. The crew also installed a material science package called the Expose-R experiment on the universal work platform outside of the Zvezda service module, and installed a restraint clamp on an automated phased array antenna. That antenna was initially installed outside of the service module back on June 19th by Skvortsov and Artemyev. The two cosmonauts also took residue samples, collected those samples from window number 13 on the outside of the Zvezda service module, and installed a plume impingement monitoring unit on the outside of the Pois module. So a variety of different work, mostly concentrating on the installation and retrieval of science hardware on the outside of the Russian segment of the station today, as Skvortsov and Artemyev continue to work outside in the vacuum of space, 4 hours, 18 minutes now, for this spacewalk, the 181st in support of space station assembly and maintenance. This view of the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov outside Moscow, where Russian flight controllers are presiding over the monitoring of the spacewalk activities by Alexander Skvortsov and Oleg Artemyev today. We do not expect any meaningful downlink television for about another 20 minutes or so while we're in a gap of television downlink capability through our tracking and data relay satellite system.
You understand how to translate, yes? Yes. You probably even see it. No? It's still dark? Yes, yes. Okay. So, just rest for about 5 minutes. Oleg, this post here, or rather tether, we can attach to it, right? This one? Yes, we can. I am attached to it right now. Okay. Oh, now I see.
Flying 260 miles just east of Mumbai, India, the International Space Station continues to support the activities of Alexander Skvortsov and Oleg Artemyev, as they are now 4 hours, 23 minutes into their spacewalk, taking a breather for a few minutes before they press ahead for the final task planned for this spacewalk, that being the removal of a canister called BioRisk from a platform just outside the hatchway to the Pirs docking compartment. The two spacewalkers are at the Pirs. They